Good afternoon. This is Lady Bilbating coming to you from my car in a car line. Pick up my kids from school in the great state of Texas. Please forgive my voice. I'm a little hoarse. I'm getting over something upper respiratory. Hopefully, it's not COVID. I haven't gotten too congested. I had a slight runny nose, but it's mostly just been coughing stuff up. So I also hope it's not strep because there's other things to worry about out there other than COVID 19. Although COVID 19 is a concern of mine personally. Anyhow, it's taken me almost 2 weeks to make another video and to update about the birthday party and everything that's happened since then. Today was the final trial on the merits day. There has been agreement reached in my case. Everybody signed off on it, so that included myself, the person who I suspect is pathologically narcissistic, who is the ex husband, and his attorney. So, with the birthday party, and we're going to go all the way back. At the birthday party, I had the ex husband and his current wife and her child over, and I personally had a blast. It was a little hot out there as I was setting up the bubble wands and bubbles and everything else, and getting the pizza at Little Caesars in out of my car. But I prevailed and I survived. And once I was in the AC and cooled down, I had a lot of fun. Had a little bit of cake. I was sitting pretty. But most importantly, my oldest daughter, whose birthday it was having a lot of fun, and her youngest sister, who is really the child of the current supply, not by the ex-husband. Her youngest sister was there, and she was having the grandest time. Uh, our oldest daughter's family members were there, including my mom, my dad, her grandmother on my side. Her aunt was missing, but her cousins were there, and it was just a good time. Now, my boyfriend also came, and we noticed that the exes and the current supplier were acting kind of off. I invited them to sit inside. They didn't want to sit inside. I noticed the ex-husband was just kind of slouching against the fence. I didn't know if he had drank beforehand, but he seemed a little bit out of it. But I figured that was mostly because he hadn't had enough sleep in like 30 plus hours. And even if he has the opportunity to go to sleep after work, he's having to get up for his personal errands and for the errands of the current supply and her child. Nothing wrong with him tending to the child or anything like that. But I'm just stating that he, in the past, hasn't gotten a lot of sleep. Well, towards the end of the party, the ex-husband's wife asked me if I could have her child stay longer so she could enjoy the party because she felt she wouldn't want to leave. And she asked if I could drop her off, and I said, of course. So, the youngest child played until the very end, and I went to go drop her off. The ex husband's wife seemed to be in quite a bit of a hurry. I sensed something was weird. Sure enough, I got a text message later on that night, I think it was after midnight, that she was going to be leaving the ex husband, and she had a safety plan. Well, the safety plan involved her getting money from a friend in a state. I won't say which state, but it just involved her just basically getting set up. And um, there are a lot of ifs and what ifs, but things got really dicey. I sensed the ex-husband had probably been drunk or on something, and they end up in some sort of a row, I guess, that preceded that. Well, I wouldn't say. Uh, I don't know. I just wasn't there. The gist of it was that she made him leave, and told him not to come back there, even though his name is on the apartment. Ultimately, he can come back there if there's no restraining order. So she spent that time packing up and getting everything ready. First, she was going to maybe spend a couple of days in in town, but she ended up having to flee because the ex has allegedly threatened to, harm her and her child. I told her that she needed to get out now, and I couldn't offer her my home. I just offered her suggestions, but she ultimately ended up getting out. It was very touch and go. The entire time, I was promised that she would update me when she got to her destination, but I haven't heard anything from her. I have become aware that she's posting on Facebooks, and um, I can only assume based off of those posts that she and her daughter are safe and they reached their destination. So it was hard to say goodbye to um, our kid's youngest sister. I consider her family, even though she's not blood related. It was hard to, kind of process that. I wasn't able to have a proper goodbye, but in a way I did because she was at the party and she was at one of her happiest, and I at least got to see that, or at least get to have that image of her in my mind. So if I should never see her again, I have that image in my mind. Maybe one day we'll link up. The important thing is that she is safe now. Ex-husband had what is referred to in the community as narcissistic rage. He had a meltdown, probably fueled by no sleep and hidden resentment. You can expect. Well, I shouldn't say you can expect because everybody's different. But one of the things you could possibly expect is for the person who you suspect is pathologically that you are with, or co-parenting with, or associating with, to keep score for both good and bad things. So when I say good things, I mean that they'll keep score of the good things that they did for you, so that you can do something for them in return. And as far as keeping score on the bad things, they're going to use those things against you, especially in a co-parenting situation and when you are in court. Oh, excuse me, I need to cough. All right, I'm back with my rainbow owl friend. It's like a little corn purse, as you can see. It's pretty cute. But anyway, speaking of court, today was the final trial day on the merits. It came and went, and I didn't get everything I initially asked for, but I do feel that I had a victory. I didn't lose custody of the kids. I don't believe that was ever in jeopardy. What was in jeopardy was them due to the time that I was ordered to have them spend with their dad. Nothing against their dad in particular. It's just some of the behaviors and actions, and it cast doubt on confidence in him to provide a safe environment. So nothing is perfect, and this agreement isn't perfect, but it at least reduces the time that they have to be with him. So for example, instead of having Thanksgiving break, we're sharing. I'm not sharing, but we're alternating Thanksgiving Day, so I don't have to worry about them being gone for over a couple of days because the ex-husband claimed that he had everything for the children, but he wouldn't. So one of the other things you can expect is for them to lie to your face about them having everything for the kids, and even if they do, there's something else that's going on. Some emotional abuse, some verbal abuse, some pitting one child against another. Choosing one as a golden child, choosing one as a scapegoat, choosing black sheep. So yeah, all that kind of BS going on. But anyway, I'm just waiting for the judge to have the final sign off and to see that entered into the database so that it is final. It's been a long road. I filed last fall, so it's almost been a year, but I made it again. So this is the second round of being in court. I'm pretty sure I will be in court multiple times over the next couple of years. Uh, one new tidbit: the ex-husband is I wouldn't say hoovering, but he's trying to get sympathy and garner, I guess, praise for deciding to quit drinking. He told me about AA meetings he was going to, so that's good. I'm all for self improvement. If these types of people want to try to help themselves, then great. Now, if he stops drinking, it doesn't mean that he's going to stop being himself. So, guys, if they seek therapy, if they stop trying to drink and do drugs, that's all wonderful. But their patterns of behavior, I believe, are fixed, and there's not going to be much that you can do to piece back together a person that's been splintered, that puts up the mask for self defense, that hasn't really gone as deep as they need to be to resolve past trauma. Now, maybe there's someone out there who is doing that and has done successfully. I don't know, but I mean, I'm just. Excuse me, I got a cough again. I'm gonna take a swig of water, so don't mind me. Uh, Precious water that only cost me 29 cents. You see that? It was in the clearance aisle at Kroger, a grocery store chain here in Texas. Or grocery store chain that has locations in Texas, I should say, because they're more than just Texas. But anyway, I'm hoping for the best that can be expected in this situation. I know it's not the end. I hope I don't see the current supply again. At least back with the ex husband, she would be making the biggest mistake of her life. Even if she gets hit during tax time, it's worth it not to have to deal with him. She really needs to divorce him as soon as possible because legally, the ex husband will still see her as property. You know, based on their own laws, they own you, and they feel entitled to your time and company if you have made it clear that you don't want that. But anyway, I'm gonna make this short because it's hard on my voice to talk. I just wanted to update you guys. Just give me your thoughts and prayers. Send me some healing vibes so I can feel better. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to keep up with me and hit the bell to be notified of new videos. This has been Liam O'Bannon, and I'll talk to you soon.